It's Emirates FA Cup third round weekend. Today's Bristol City welcome Fulham to Ashton Gate. And I'm now joined by Fulham reporter for The Athletic, Peter. First of all, Peter, FA Cup is always the one competition fans look out for, especially the third round when all the big teams come in from the Premier League. You've got Bristol City, so we've already played each other once here at Ashton Gate before. That finished 1-1. The FA Cup, as well as giving teams a chance to play higher opposition, it always gives other players a chance to sign as well. So what sort of team do you reckon we'll see from Marcus Silva and Fulham today?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell because Fulham haven't played since December 20th. They've had 3 games postponed. Yeah. None of them, they're all postponed by the opposition. So it's one of those where we're not really sure whether he's going to go with strong players or whether he's going to rotate, like you say. My expectations might be a bit of both. Fulham have got quite a tough run of fixtures coming up now. Those postponed games have been dumped in January, so it'll be game, 3 days, game, 3 days. So I'm going to guess there will be some rotation. There are players that do need some minutes. But at the same time, Fulham's last result against Sheffield United was a poor 1-0 defeat. They're 5 without a win in the league. So there's a sense that maybe the rotation was due anyway. So lots of variables, and I can't give you any sort of clear answer.
And you obviously said there that games have been moved around. You know, you've been dumped in midweek this week, got Reading away, and that's obviously going to impact every club in the Championship with that as well, but especially Fulham, who are battling out with Bournemouth to get that top spot. Do you think that will have any impact on Marcus Silva's opinions on the cup competitions and other competitions which isn't getting promoted back to the Premier League?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Marco Silva spoke quite warmly about the FA Cup before the game, and he said that he used to watch it in Portugal with his father, so it holds a bit of prestige for him. But at the same time, the priority for Fulham is promotion, and that's going to take precedent over the cup. So we'll have to see. I mean, if Fulham do go on a run, which would be very un-Fulham-like, but if they do, then their fixtures will be even tighter than before. So the league is the priority. So I think anything else is a bonus, but even so, with everything else added in, it may take second place very much this season.
And Fulham started off the season in the Championship very, very well. You were top for a long time, and then you dropped down to second. It's been an ongoing battle between yourselves and Bournemouth. Recently, as you said, everything's been a bit mixed up with games being postponed. Some games probably shouldn't have turned out how they did. Obviously, Blackburn 7-0. You didn't really expect that, should you? And then they're now third or something, whatever now, as well as losing some games like Sheffield United, who haven't been on brilliant run of form. What sort of form are Fulham going on to this game? Should the fans travelling today be confident ahead of today's game?
Good question. Recent form hasn't been great. Since that 7-0, Fulham have done okay. They had an illness outbreak. It wasn't COVID, but they had an outbreak in the squad. Went on a bad run, 4 draws, then a defeat. So it's 5 without a win, and it's felt like the brakes have been applied a little bit. Blackburn have now leapfrogged them in the table, which is just extraordinary, really, considering that 7-0 win. So I think in terms of the form Fulham are in, I think this pause of no games over Christmas and New Year, that's probably a good chance for them to, take on a blank slate, and then. It's anyone's guess really how they come out. They need to come out and they need to respond because, as you say, they've been top. Their squad is very, very good for the Championship. They should really, everyone expects them to do well and get in those automatic promotion places. And we've seen their quality. It's about maintaining that consistently. And if they can do that and find that rhythm and momentum, then they should be okay. But after recent form, it'll be interesting to see how they respond today.
And it's now 2022, January, which obviously means the transfer window. In your opinion as a reporter, I'm guessing you've been to pretty much every game this season. Where do you think Fulham need to strengthen heading into the second part of the season if Marcus Silva does want to go on to find promotion to the Premier League, maybe he's as champions, and even maybe get a few good ties in the FA Cup as well?
Yeah, with January, it's with Fulham, it's always towards the end of the window that you start to see some movement. They've actually got a very good squad, and in my opinion, I think in all areas they're pretty good. I think the concern for Fulham fans is because they've been up and down, they want to see a bit more of that long-term thinking. Can we get into a good position to be ready to go up if Fulham can be, and then go into the market with that sort of longer-term thinking. So for now, I think the squad's good. I think all positions are pretty strong. I think there are areas in defence that will probably need to be looked at, particularly if Fulham go up. They've got good options at centre-half, so they've got good options at right-back, but I think they could improve on the quality level maybe. But in terms of first-choice options across the team, the depth that Fulham have is a cut above really in this division. And whatever they do or don't do this window, I don't think that's going to have too much of a bearing. I mean, their squad should be good enough, and priority will be actually reducing its size because there are players who haven't had minutes, and I think they'll be the aim for this window.
Yeah. And the FA Cup announced earlier this week that they're scrapping replays with obviously COVID at the moment. It's going up again. But do you think, I'm sure Marco Silva and both Nigel Pearson, with the tough run of fixtures coming up, don't really want to be having to play another 30, 40 odd minutes today. But do you think he'll reach that far? What's your prediction ahead of the game?
I think I'll end up going and get that extra 30 minutes. I mean, we were talking about it before.
I think it will as well.
Because I don't know how both teams want to approach it. I mean, everyone wants to progress in the Cup. Everyone wants a memorable Cup run. But, you know, as I was saying before, with Fulham's fixtures, from a Fulham perspective, you know, a Cup run would be a bit annoying in a sense. The flip side with this tie is that they're due to play Middlesbrough in the league on the weekend of the fourth round. Middlesbrough have got Mansfield in the Cup today, and you'd expect them to go through. I mean, it's the FA Cup, who knows? Yeah. But I'd expect them to go through. So there is that incentive to play because that game's going to get moved anyway, regardless, probably. So I think from a Fulham side, they'll want to progress. I mean, the game here, when Fulham last visited, was a game of two halves, I felt. You know, there was a poor half from Fulham, then they came out and were a little bit better after half-time. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar because of the rustiness, really, that match sharpness. Fulham have the quality to win the game, but you know, on their day, anyone can prove a stumbling block. Yeah. Thank you very much. I expect we'll probably speak again next weekend at Craven Cottage as well. I'm now joined by Fulham fan Jack ahead of today's game. So Jack, it's FA Cup third round. As a fan, what does the FA Cup mean to you? It must be good to have the opportunity to play some of the big boys, even though I'm sure you'll be doing that again next year with you being back in the Premier League.
Well, we're not up yet.
No, not yet. But
we haven't won since 20th of November.
Yeah.
But in terms of the FA Cup, I mean, we're notoriously known to get a really bad draw. In terms of a bad draw being a team you've already played this season. Like, we've already played each other, of course. We play each other next week. We've had Spurs in the past where we lost. We had Man City in the past, which we lost. But to be fair, I don't think the FA Cup's a priority for us at all this year. We just want to get up, and because of fixture congestion, we've got so many games coming up. So today's just about watching our team play, basically, because we haven't for so long. So I'm not really too fussed about what really happens today, but hopefully we're in for a good game.
Funny enough, I was actually speaking to Peter about the exact same thing about fixture congestion and all of that. You've obviously got one of the games moved, you've got Reading away on Wednesday, all of that. And I asked James the same question. What sort of team do you expect Marco Silva to put out today with, obviously, as you've already said, the Championship and promotion your main priority this season?
I think it's about match sharpness. So I think we'll have a couple of first teamers in there, but sprinkling of some youngsters, second string sort of players, because yes, we want to get back to match fitness and get back into the routine of actually playing, but also cautious because we don't want to risk anyone for Tuesday, because Reading's a big game for us really, and the upcoming fixtures we've got. So today's just more about playing second string / like okay starting 11. I don't think it will be as bad as people are expecting. Like all the youngsters, I think we'll play a few first teamers, but and in terms of Bristol as well, I'm not sure how they're going to Bristol City. I don't know how they're going to line up, but it's just one of those games. No one's really too fussed about what happens on our side of things, but maybe we might get a penalty shootout, which would be quite good fun. Yeah,
that was going to be the next question. Obviously, earlier on in the season when we spoke then as well, and we were both a bit unsure about the result then, and it ended up 1-1. If that happens today, it obviously goes to extra time and then a penalty shootout. Do you reckon that will happen today, or do you think with Fulham's quality, even if it's their second team in Bristol City, if we decide to play our first team or a strong lineup, that they won't actually make extra time?
Not sure, because we always draw 1-1 with you. It seems to be always the result. So I wouldn't be surprised if we catch it again with another 1-1 draw, which means extra time. But I think we've got enough to get over the line. But I thought in the performance we played last time we were here, we were pretty unlucky not to win. We had a lot of chances and we actually got really lethargic, and that's why we conceded. And from there we were trying to recover the game and win the game, and Mitrovic missed about 3 or 4 chances. But I don't think Mitrovic will play today, which is good news for you guys. I think we'll have Rodrigo Muniz up front, who's like this youngster. But look, we had a penalty shootout against Leeds earlier on in the season.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, and we haven't had a penalty shootout in such a long time. So, like London buses, one comes along and then a second one. So I wouldn't be surprised if today goes to penalties after a 1-1 draw, really.
Yeah. Finally, can I get a score prediction from you?
1-1.
1-1, yeah.
1-1 and Fulham to win on penalties.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree with that. I do. Thank you very much.
Cheers, thanks mate.
This is Ashton Gate. Please welcome today's teams, Fulham and Bristol City. Bristol City starting 11 in the Emirates FA Cup. Number 12 in goal, Max Oleary. 5, Rob.
Come on, City! It's half time in the Emirates FA Cup. Bristol City 0, Fulham 0, and I'm now joined again by Ashton. Ashton, we're speaking ahead of the game and during the first half as well. Bristol have played very well so far, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I reckon. I think the youngsters, Alex Scott and Belarus, have really made an impact, especially at Belarus in his normal position. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Are they the men that have stood out for you so far today? I do agree. Belarus and Alex Scott and Wells as well have been brilliant in that first half.
Yeah, Wells has been good. Not getting starts in the leagues, maybe it was a good opportunity for him in the FA Cup today. So yeah, he's done very well.
And then as we head into the second half, who do you like to see Nigel Pearson bring on if you do want to see any changes to go on and win the game and get through to the fourth round in the hat for the draw?
I think Semenyo could make an impact up front and use his power to hold off the tall defenders that Fulham have got, and hopefully get the winner for us.
100%. You've seen the Fulham bench, you've got likes of Mitrovic, Reed, Kearney, Ream, Robinson, who's all called us problems in the past. Do you worry about them, or do you think after that first half performance we've just seen that you're quietly confident that we'll be able to go on and get the result come 90 minutes? Or
Hopefully.
Or even extra time.
Yeah, hopefully they don't bring Mitrovic on,
Yeah.
because he could cause us problems. I think their striker, Mies, has not really caused us any problems at the back.
Yeah.
I think we've just used Naki Wells and Chris Martin up front, and we've caused a threat to them.
Yeah. And then what's your full-time prediction?
I'm going with a cheeky 1-0.
Yeah, I'll take that. In the hat for the next draw, that's all we need. Thank you very much, mate. After the 90, Bristol seeing a very, very good performance. Good few chances.
So 0-0.
0-0 at
90 minutes means we'll
the 90-minute break. Come on then, City. Oh, what a chance.
He got touched. He got touched.
How lucky.
He got touched.
I have no idea what has just happened. And it seemed to just go for everyone. And it's 1-0. Just before half-time extra time. I don't think they've deserved it. One of the luckiest goals I think you'll ever see. 1-0. Still time though. Please, Bristol City. 9 minutes to go, please. That's full time. Bristol City crash out of the FA Cup with a Fulham goal late on in the first half of extra time. Bristol City probably deserve to go through. They were definitely the better side. We didn't take our chances. We had a good few. So Dowder, Martin, Conway all had a few.
You can sign in
1-0. Bristol City. Press out. Yeah,